Hello and welcome to Courtesy Flush. The music just went. And today we're going to be playing. Well, Crash is going to be playing some of that SANIC the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And he broke it before we fucking started.
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did. You turned on the game.
I mean, that shouldn't break a PlayStation 3.
Hold on, let me check something. Yeah, look at that. No signal. No signal. That is you.
I just pushed a button.
Kevin, can you fucking turn this? You just turn the PlayStation 3 off. How you doing tonight, Kevin?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tired. I'm always tired.
I'm sorry.
About what?
She hitting the start button.
Yeah. He started the game up, and then the game was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take and crash because that's who's playing the game.
I don't know, man.
Look at this. PlayStation 3 startup screen. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm aware it wasn't turned off properly because you didn't turn on properly either, PlayStation.
Anyway, touching the PlayStation voids the warranty. So
The file on the system storage may be corrupted. The system will restart. Good. Good. Oh, my God.
It says shit like that. Just let it do its thing.
Yeah, except as it's going to take fucking a year doing it.
well, I've been working all morning, studying all day. Had a pretty okay weekend. How about you guys?
I went to a wedding, and I got pretty tipsy over the course of the weekend. So,
Yeah, why's that?
Yeah, why do you drink?
Yeah,
I was with buddies in Julito. We did buddy stuff,
Interesting.
like drinking and dancing. And I don't know.
it wouldn't be a Courtesy Flush stream without technical difficulties.
Ouch.
Let's see here.
Ain't that the
Banning
truth?
WD-40 gas.
Let's see, DDoSing.
No. Whoa.
Holy shit.
I keyed.
Okay. Do you know how to do that?
No.
Okay.
I
Triumph.
I'll show you. All right, let's...
triumph.
Triumph the insult comic dog. That's how you sounded like for a second there.
Hey, how you doing, Biddy? It's good to see you, man. Let's see if the game will actually load up.
Yes, Jesus. Some SANIC.
Oh, it's actually loading now.
SANIC the Hedgehog. I just worked all day.
Yeah.
And
Some SANIC, huh?
the end.
I fucked up my knee lifting. That sucked.
Don't do that.
Yeah, well, then I went to go jog
Well,
afterwards.
Dude, you have to bend your back before you pick it.
Bend your back and
You
then
bend your knees, you injure your knees.
My trick is to bend and twist as you're picking up because
Yeah.
that I feel better about myself.
Yeah, it's technique.
Everything about my FedEx training is screaming right now. Like, very loudly.
What about your UPS training?
I didn't work for UPS.
Really? I thought you jumped around from package carriers.
No.
No?
No,
I
he's
stuck with the
You're
same
not-
he
package.
doesn't work for Uber
You're not,
Lyft.
you're not USPS Gannon?
No, it's FedEx Gannon.
I thought it was USPS
Will
Gannon.
always be FedEx Gannon. What levels did I say I was going to show off?
I don't know.
We did Missouri last time. I said
No,
You
Shamar.
know this game, dude. I don't
No,
fucking know.
Do I know anything about the Space Station 13 thing that's going on? It's a. It is actually a. What's wrong?
Last time I played the stage, we got a D.
Okay. Okay.
How dare you?
It's a toolbox arena fight for a charity that will be hosted by Mr. Tex, I believe live on some platform somewhere. So send him a message on his channel, and he can give you more information on that. I actually don't know when the event's happening, but if you're subscribed to him, I'm sure he'll put it up as an alert on his channel.
Oh, I missed.
Holy shit, Sonic. Look at all this property damage.
You should go yell at Tom Bombadil in the BPL Discord.
He just ruined a fucking
He's just having fun, man.
Each street. Yeah, you know, it's all fun until... Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
What?
We were talking about how he's a demigod. He's just immortal.
Well, yeah.
Nobody can catch him.
Nobody can kill him. He's
Robotnik has
invincible.
been trying to kill him and save the human race. And here Sonic is just immortal, causing tons of property damage. Killing people with his speed.
I love that you're making like this political stand.
Political against Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic is the problem in our economy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
See, Sonic, do that shit out in the desert, where there's not fucking like businesses and there's not families.
Throw out my back from doing shenanigans in high school. Will never lift something wrong again. This charity stream is going to be dope. It's this weekend, isn't it? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and it's basically like Space Station 13. Everyone gets toolboxes, and then they go into an arena and beat the shit out of each other for charity.
Nice.
And Tex is going to be the MC for one of the MCs for the events.
Is Space Station 13 the game where, you were going to the vending machine and getting the lasagnas out or whatever?
No, that was
That's SCP.
Yeah.
But that doesn't. There's no lasagna machine. That was just a joke. No, Space Station 13 is not a game. It's an experience.
yeah.
There's a lot more to Space Station 13. I mean, you can play it like a game if you really want to, but that's lame. The fun you get from Space Station 13 is the stories that you make. And I have a bad habit of not recording any of them.
Oh my god.
Well, dude, what the fuck did you expect?
You're ruining like ancient. That's like a temple of something.
Do you remember the first Tomb Raider, Kevin?
Yeah.
And in the first Tomb Raider, when she jumps off that waterfall, it's near the end of the game. She jumps off the waterfall, and then she finds a motorcycle, and then she chases after their boat on the motorcycle, and she's like riding on the wall and shit.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of.
Those stages are super fun. I love Shamar Day. That stage is a roller coaster. Can't believe I got hit twice. I'm ass.
Yeah, you are, but that's okay. I mean, this stream is not meant for people who are good at video games. That's why we invited you.
Oh well.
Yeah,
That was what a line.
What do you mean? Nobody thought that was funny.
Good to know we got all Big Bang Theory up in here with your laugh track. Damn it! All right, that's it. Cut the stream. No!
You can't escape. Once the laugh track starts, it'll follow you around. I tried to sleep last night, but I couldn't. All I kept hearing was people laughing.
You tried to sleep, but here's the laugh track. Which I imagine that's the world in existence they live in. They pause for the laugh track because they can hear it. Like that's the thing with the Big Bang Theory is they can hear the laugh track, and so they have to just live with it.
Yeah. Is that show canceled yet?
Yes,
Good.
I think.
I will explain Space Station 13. Do not mock it. Do not mock. Okay, he put a link there. I'll copy a link and put it into YouTube as well.
By the way, this level is fucking sick. And I already missed what I wanted. Although we are going to drop some frame. PlayStation.
You're also going to drop some Sonics in water.
I think I'm going to restart now because I'm basically right at the beginning and I have a better score.
Yeah, so there's the charity. It's a Extra Life event for Space Station 13. Mr. Tex will be co-hosting in the booth along with Boat Bomber, who is a really awesome Space Station 13 YouTube channel as well. And he's also fucking hilarious. So it will be a really funny event. And the link has been posted in the chat and also in other stream stuff. Yeah, he will explain it. Eventually, he will explain Space Station 13 and what it means to be a spaceman at the event. Hopefully. If not, then people are just going to be like, what is this? And he'll be like, get out. Leave your money at the door and get out. And then everyone's like, okay. Extra Life was that charity that I was actually going to do a VR thing with. But then I backed out because the person who was setting it up was sleazy about it. And I was like, yeah, no, this seems like a bad thing to fucking game.
Wait, what happened?
The person that was setting it up, they were like, so how much money do you think they're going to give us for setting all this up? And I'm like, it's a charity event. Probably nothing. They're like, well, that's not how it really works in the nonprofit world. I was like, yeah, okay. That's a
surefire sign of what you're in this for.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a bad look. It's like, what are you going to say to all the people when they find out that's what you want to do? And they're like, well, I'll just tell them, like, you obviously don't know how nonprofits work. And I was like, Jesus.
Wow.
That's going to be kosher with no one involved.
Yeah.
Frame data.
Mind you, this person would never say that in a room with other people in it. She just figured, oh, he's not going to say shit about it. I'm like, I've told a couple people.
You told Stream? It's on the internet now.
Yeah.
Not that we know who that person is.
It's all good.
You know, you'll know when you see her. I don't know.
Goodness gracious, golly giblets, have I missed this game. Well, at least the parts of it that are fun.
This looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time it's been like a gentle cruise, you know, through the game while we're just sitting here.
Honestly, I'm mesmerized by how fast this is.
Because I was telling Kevin off stream, like, we were just talking about, like, all of the different characters that are in this game. Kevin was like, I wish Tails was I really wish Tails wasn't a girl.
Yeah, I said, what if Tails was a boy?
Yeah. Which is a good point. What if he was a boy?
Yeah.
Like, how would that change this game's dynamic?
You know what? What if Metroid was a girl?
What if she was?
Dude, what if Zelda was a girl instead of the green elf guy?
Exactly. The Elven kid. What do they call him? Knife ears?
I think his name is Aragorn.
Yeah, there it is.
Eargorn? Interesting.
Yeah, Ear of Corn? That's his name.
And I was talking to Kevin about, like, fucking Pink Sonic. And I was like, what the fuck is her name? Like, Amethyst or Jewel or whatever fucking stripper name that she's got. And he was like, no, her name is, what was her name? I actually forgot it again.
It's Amy.
It's, yeah.
A-M-Y. Or whatever.
Oh, no.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Stream's over. We're done here.
Gotta go fest.
Gotta go fist.
But Tails' name is Miles Prower. Yeah?
That's true.
Yeah, which is a joke.
That's why we're like, what if he was a boy?
Yeah. Her name's already Miles.
Yeah.
Right, Crash? I'm surprised you don't have any input about this.
Because this level's really hard.
No, it's like,
dude, you're killing it.
it's like and the thing is, I don't understand. It's like, why is there this energy of like Sonic, like you're like a sister to me, Tails, and he's like, but I like you, and you know, it's like really awkward.
Yeah, it's really weird.
God damn it.
See, like, okay, Tails is an 8-year-old boy, but what is that in Fox years?
Exactly.
No, we're not pulling like yeah, but she's a 500-year-old dragon kind of thing. Don't you hentai logic my Sonic, all right? It's got it bad enough as it is.
What do you mean?
With the Sonic X Shadow Cannon.
Right. Yeah, I honestly I wasn't surprised when Sonic Team was like, yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
They just called you up and they were like, "Hey, we just wanted to confirm like
Yeah.
the torture that you're."
I was
putting your
like,
buddy
how did you
through,
get
it's
my
all
phone
true."
number? But they were like, government contractor. And I was like, I gotcha. No, most people don't know the Sonic team's actually like part of the U.S. government.
Damn it. Well, that was bad, but I love that stage. So
Nothing like getting put in the friend zone.
you heard it here, kids. Amy is a stripper name.
It's not hentai. It's worse than that. It's far worse.
Don't you do this to me wrong way. Okay, what night stage I said I was going to show off the ice one?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is?
Yeah. Where is the ice stage?
Here we go. Polaska.
And the polar ice caps. Is that one place just a pile of ocean? It's not an island. It's just an ocean.
It's just a pile of ocean.
Fuck it. Let it float in space.
Amy, not so much. Amy Rose, though. That's a stripper name.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Did you see her leaning over cars and shit? Like, hey, honey, I can give you $30. I'll let you go about 40 minutes. I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good deal.
She's smoking like 2 cigars at once. I'll give you 40 minutes, honey.
Just every hooker ever just turns into Joan Rivers.
Well, I mean, sure.
Amy's only a stripper name when it's spelled with an I.
But with only one cigar in her mouth.
There we go. Okay.
I wish they'd make like a Star Trek, the original series game, where you play as Kirk and he just does this. He just starts like fucking double fisting, hitting people, smashing the ground, screaming. And people are like, we just couldn't stop him. He just he showed up on the planet and they were like, yeah, we want to join the Federation and be peaceful. And when he said no, then he just started to rage out. We just couldn't stop him. A lot of crying.
Give him the full Bill Clinton.
Wow, dude.
Oh, no, I'm on fire. Oh, God.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm a demigod. That doesn't matter to me. Fire tickles.
He collects gold and lives forever.
Kills aliens and doesn't afraid of anything.
Dude, this seems like a really good like early morning commercial where they're like, you know, like those day commercials where they're like, turn your cash into gold now. And it's like you buy gold. Well, Sonic does that now, and he lives forever. So what does that say? Fucking up your gold stocks. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
What? Come back here, son of a bitch. There's a lot of really fun platform sections in this game. With the stretchy arms, because even though they're dumb, there's parts that can be fun. So I would like to reiterate why they put in so much fucking combat with like the goofy smooth jazz every single time you do it. It just kills any fun you can have in the platform sections.
God, those stretchy arm animations make me just shake his head. Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But hey, here's another one for an extended period of time.
This feels more like Crash Bandicoot than Sonic the Hedgehog right now. Minus like the linear camera. Wow, that was all that stopped him?
I'm not down there. I'm up here. Why are you showing me things down there? I'm up here. Damn it.
When is this Sonic bullshit?
Well, hello to you too, Tex.
Hold on, he can't hear you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I heard someone talking about Space Station 13 and my ears started to tingle.
A little bit. It's that video game where you play as like the people who have like jobs and stuff.
Yeah, and you try to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You try to blow the space station up.
Yeah, you
fucking normie.
you try to blow the space station up super quick. You get like the engine like we got to hell burn this thing. Right? That's how it's done.
Look, I'm hurting right now.
Oh.
You
got whiskey though, right?
Not yet. No. No. I'm sad. You guys have made me +1 sad. I'm just gonna say.
Considering I literally just played it like yesterday.
Oh, what you playing?
I played Lamprey Station with you.
Oh yeah, God,
Well,
that was fucking crazy.
yeah.
I had a fucking minigun that was shooting bees.
It was great.
Did you just say it's a minigun that was shooting bees?
Yes.
Correct.
Why would you need a minigun to shoot bees? What kind of fucking bees are you dealing with here?
No. The minigun shot bees from it as a projectile.
Oh, that's even more frightening.
Yeah, so you have to understand, I had a clown problem. That started this whole engagement. It didn't start with a minigun. I just had the shotgun, but there was a bee. Well, okay. There first was a clown problem, then there was a bee problem. Things escalate, you know?
The last time I had a bee problem, I just put it in a cup and put it outside, man. I don't know.
So, anyways.
Yeah, you should have cracked the window. Just let him out.
I had a moment of victory, but then there was the bee problem that I caused, and I said, well, now that I've handled this, it's time to leave. The other
That's
guy,
somebody else's problem.
yeah, the other guy was screaming, oh God, the bees. But, by then, I'm like, hey, I'm not a bee expert. I just use the gun. See you later.
Space bees.
And somewhere Nicolas Cage had a fucking meltdown.
I had a temperature gun, and people were trying to take it from me, so I would shoot them with it, and then I'd run away. And
You're doing God's work.
yeah, like they were like, oh, can I see that gun? I'm like, yes, and then I would fire it at them. And then it was because Lamprey Station is procedurally generated, right? At least
I don't know.
it felt like it was, but I got to a point where I was like lost in this room, and I found this 20-sided dice that was cursed, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll just roll this. I rolled a 13, and a nuke went off, and I didn't die. But everything else around me was just spaced.
Sounds great. Someone in the Black Pants Legion suggested that I open a bar, and if I did, what would its name be? And I said, PJ Whiskey's House of Whiskey. And that's all you get.
Yeah.
The whiskey house full of whiskey.
Yeah, just whiskey. Well, steaks too, but no plates. That's nah.
That's the catch.
Yeah.
No, it's just turn in your fucking man card. Oh, you're too good for eating steak with your hands. Let's see how it is. Starts off with that, ends up with communism.
Exactly.
how do you not lose your license to a health inspection?
Well, you
Money.
bite 'em off
You,
with
you
whiskey.
get those.
I see your plan is
if you're
foolproof.
blind on potato squeezings, now can you?
Dude, nobody can resist your tots. You make good tater tots. This is
Dude, I
known.
make good everything.
Yeah.
The moment somebody
Exactly.
says nobody can resist your tots, I don't think of tater tots.
Well, hey, man, to each their own. I ain't judging. That's God's work.
Yeah.
The judging or the great tots?
Yes. Look, I show up to shitpost now and then, and Mike
Yeah.
lets me know it's okay because he'll put that thing in the Discord where he's live, and I'm like,
Yeah. It's a temptation to be like, come on if you dare. Because
See,
we're
I'm just gonna get shit faced and do Ed McMahon one of these days, where every time you say something, I'll be like, oh, yeah,
No, you already do.
30 years.
You already do that.
Oh yeah. Well, pay me.
Exactly. Oh man, we Crash was just showing us the rest of this game because the last time we played it,
We played a handful of stages, but
he was just because it's like riding in a car, and somebody who's really good at driving, and you're just watching the scenery go by, and you're like, wow, this is really nice. Whereas me and Kevin was driving this car, it would just be like
Wow.
yelling and frustration and broken
Yeah.
family.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, he's really good at this game, and If I remember correctly, you said this was the one that most people are kind of like, they didn't like it that much.
So Sonic 06 happened, so everybody was like, every Sonic game in the history of ever is trash. And then when this game came out, they didn't give it a rightful chance. So places like IGN gave it a 3.5 just off the cuff and came up with a lot of like dumb excuses to say it was that bad. But it was way better than Sonic 06.
Without IGN, so don't worry about it.
That is correct, sir. But either way, point being, this game deserved something closer to like a 7, middle of the road. All this nighttime stage stuff needed a shit ton of work. Like the goofy animations just seemed completely out of place.
Well, it's out of place too because it's like he's supposed to just be running through stages and like doing platform stuff, and here you are basically running around like Captain Kirk, just like punching people in the face.
Dude, why can't we get that game?
I know.
All you have to do is walk up to stuff and match X, and he'll like throw himself off the wall and do the Andorian two-leg tussle.
I would really like it's the animated series Kirk, so that way you can get away with cartoon logic where he just like grabs anvils and shit and starts smashing them in the face, but you add like a little bit of like a holy shit factor by just making people's faces actually start to cave in.
That would be awesome. Well, that's, believe it or not, to bring things full circle, EX80V1, when I interviewed him, I said, what was your inspiration for Space Station 13? And a lot of the shit was straight out of Star Trek. That's why security wears red.
Yep, that I kind of figured that. That person he just named was the creator of Space Station 13.
Nice.
And he interviewed him.
The one that everyone said, everybody and their mother's like, the game was stolen, and then it was decrypted, and then it was built. And I was like, no, it wasn't. And so I just went and found the guy. Everyone's like, he's impossible to find. I was like, he's in host chat. Just talk to him. And then I did. And I slowly coaxed him out of his little nerd hole. And I was like, hey, man, how's it going? I really like your shit. Hey, I love this game, and I've spent way too much time in it. Can I ask you a few questions? He's like, fine. I was like, okay, we'll record on Thursday. He's like, what? And I was like, welcome to YouTube.
And then magic happens.
Magic happened. I made it into Wikipedia. I'm a, quote, notable YouTuber. Not good, notable.
Also Sarna, which is also a wiki.
I've made it into 2 wikis, and that's how you know you've reached peak mediocrity.
Fucking great.
Mediocrity. Oh my god. I can walk into fucking bars and be like, hey, guess what? I'm in Sarna and Wikipedia. You know what? They will throw me out on my fucking face because I look like I crawled out of a rock. But I'll tell you this much. I make good steak, and I rest my case.
No, I was going to say, you don't look like you crawled out of a rock. You look like you make good steak. Like, you look like somebody who's like, you look like you know how to grill.
I do. I sit out there in my underwear and grill and clean guns. My neighbors just wave now.
So your like blood type is New Balance?
He's not a dad.
I don't get that
wish
reference.
I would have seen the look on your neighbors' faces when they heard me.
New Balance is a shoe that like mostly dads wear.
All those grillin' dad shoes.
Oh shit! No, I buy all my shoes from the Duluth Trading Company along with tools.
I was gonna say, yeah, I he's definitely got the sporting's goods attire.
Well, anyway, like Kevin and I have said before, just imagine like some of the goofy little platform stuff that you're doing right here. Take out the stretchy arms and and half the combat, and just put Knuckles in this, and this game would not be fucking panned as it was.
No, just put Mike Tyson in it. Like, why not? If you're gonna go goofy, go full goofy.
And Mike Tyson loves that shit.
He kind of does for some reason.
And that would be fucking hilarious. All right,
Well,
Mike Tyson, let's kick their ass.
Well, he went from punching people to being a punchline, and he's fine with it. He just rolls with the fucking changes like the REO Speedwagon song, but not as good.
Oh my god,
that's a really
Did you
good
say
song.
that he rolls with the punches?
Saw that one coming. Tried to make the joke myself, but I couldn't find an opening. Unlike
It's
Mike
all right,
Tyson,
I
who
won't
finds
leave
them all. Oh, what's up?
No, Mike Tyson just bites ears because he's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be fucking brutalizing. And you're like, shit, that's scary.
Do you think if Mike Tyson saw an elf, he would just start physically? You would see like his blood pressure raise.
I really think what's funny is I had a DM that did this in D&D years ago, and he actually made the most terrifying ogre in the world sound like Mike Tyson. And we realized how scary Mike Tyson was then, because you have this guy that will just punch-size your face flat He will collapse your sinuses with a right hook. But he'll be like, yeah, that was devastating.
Missed. Damn it. And there goes my whole score. Here goes my A rank. But I want the left path.
But you tried.
And that's what's important.
Not really. No, nobody knows who the second guy on the moon was. Nobody gives a shit. They don't even teach it. They were like, loser.
Welcome to America, bitch.
Exactly. You're like, there's Neil Armstrong and Gary whatever. Who cares?
Gary
The
Oldman.
Chad Armstrong.
Hey, here's a good question for you as a history guy. What's one thing in history?
The word is historian, but okay.
Yes, history guy is much. It's
History. No, you should say history guy, because when I get paid to do history, it's like, can you find out if my family owned slaves? And I'm like, yes, you're white, yes. And they're like, can you make that go away? No, I don't.
No.
It's true.
Can you make that go away? Holy
I
shit.
actually asked me if I could bury that. I was like, no, it's historical record. And he's like, well, whose records? I was like, facts.
So I was gonna ask if you were to like to give, like, all of history is important, but if you were to give somebody like a thing that they should definitely learn in history, what would it be? Like the thing that you're like, this is probably one of the more important things to learn.
Don't invade Russia. Just don't do it.
Hey, Napoleon.
It's just one of those things. Like, you don't understand. Like, most armies, if you tank the enemy capital, they're like, all right, I lose, go home, and then wait for new government and then form new government. No big deal. The Russians don't play that game. You'll be like, I got your capital. Yep. I'm sitting in your palace. Mm-hmm. I'm burning all your stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they wait for their best general, Winter, and then all shit breaks.
Yeah.
Like,
General
the
Winter.
Russian army will counterattack with zero radio, zero communications, and no supplies, and negative 80-degree temperature to steal your fucking shoes.
But that's what works.
And the other problem with the Russians is, like, if you ask them to build, if you ask them to make, like, comfortable, stylish shoes, they will give you something that looks like the box that the shoes came in.
I've heard this one.
Right.
But you ask them to build the gun, suddenly they're Thomas fucking Edison.
Yeah, they are engineers that excel at human misery. That is what they do. Read their poetry, read Dostoevsky, read read any of their art, and it's all about suffering and misery. And then when they get the chance to share that with other people, oh my God, do they excel at it. Don't fuck with them.
And now I feel like the Macedonians and the Russians have more in common than I realized.
Well, yeah, they're both Slavs.
There's a Slav hierarchy. It's very delicate.
Oh, yeah, it changes depending on which type of Slav you're asking, too.
Correct.
Like, Jesus, I mean, like, I used to date this Russian girl in high school, and she was, pretty Americanized, and she was, bleeding hard as hell. But you start talking about other Slavs, and she's suddenly, like, fucking Stalin. It's like, oh, yeah, Ukraine isn't a real country. Ukraine isn't even a real people. It's just Polish with Cyrillic. Crimea deserves to be sacked and occupied by Russia.
Jeez.
Wow.
Holy shit. See,
Yeah,
this is why I
Russians-
don't connect with my own people.
I mean, I hate Putin, but he's totally right to just force him at gunpoint to have 110% turnover and
I was talking with a guy yesterday, and I had a really funny realization. Imagine, and I try to steer things away from politics, but internet and politics. No, let's have internet and fun. But I'm going to turn this back to joke. Okay, can you imagine going to bed in Ukraine and waking up in Russia? Just, you go to bed, good night moon, good night house, night kids, love you, lock the door, wake up. Huh. The flag changed while I went to bed. Did I miss something? All the local cops and all the local government guys like, please don't bring it up. No, I'm just a little like, who do I pay taxes to now? That's what I want to know.
Whoops. I keep fucking up because now I'm thinking about Macedonia.
Why?
Because I'm Macedonian.
You're
Alexander
American.
the Oak.
Well, I am
You're
American.
American.
My family
No.
is Macedonian by heritage.
Listen, we only have one room for one allegiance in this land. It's called America. That teaching lady at the schoolhouse told me I need to learn 26 letters, and I tell you what, I only need to know 3, U.S. and A.
Wow.
All right, that got
See,
cinematic.
You know, he just destroyed that poor wizard who was just trying to build a snowman.
See, but like,
Macedonia gives us a lot of history. See, people often expect me to go into history lectures, which I do in the Black Pants Legion a lot, where I just start rambling about insane stuff. People will be like, the USS to Texas. And I was like, yes, it's actually lot number 704, one of 2 super dreadnoughts built in 1912 to 1914 as part of the 7th Naval Block. And then people go, oh my God, I don't give a shit. But then people will start saying, Tex, what do you think about blah? And I will just answer with shit posting. So first of all, congratulations on rank A. Very well done.
Yes.
So, I presume that's the best.
Congratulations.
Yes, that is.
no, S is the best.
Oh, is S the
No,
fuck
just
S?
just agree with me.
Thank you,
okay?
Tex.
No.
All right, so, yes. So here's the second point.
Let me be complimented by Tex. Fuck off.
Yeah, so here's the next point. And this is the thing, is when people actually ask me historical stuff, I will answer with absolute nonsense. People are like, oh, Macedonia. And rather than talk about Greek successor states and all the expansionistic policies, or even the place that the Macedonian polity played in the late Roman Empire in the formative years of a kind of a Balkanized supra state leading into the kingdom of Yugoslavia and many other things, I will instead be like, yeah, there was that Alexander the Great guy, and then there was the Alexander the Okay guy, and there were a few other. I would rather shit post 9 times out of 10.
Of course.
Wow.
Shit posting is life.
By the way-
because we live in a society.
quick segue, not real segue, because we'll get to talk. So those were 2 day stages that I super love, and that was the night stage that I really enjoy. So again, just to reiterate, some of that platform is really fun. They need to cut down on half the combat.
That was a lot more fun to watch than
all of Sonic 06.
that Italian city that you were driving through.
Oh, Spagonia.
Yeah.
This is the last stage in the game.
Okay.
It can take a fucking hour.
About the uselessness of Italy in the Second World War. Okay. Because I had to correct someone's fucking papers when I used to lecture, and here's the thing: is someone was like, Italy was a valuable ally, and I was like, well, you have an F now, so let me.
Wow.
So think about it.
Germany flexed its muscle by staring down 2 modern armies and winning in a matter of 6 months. Really impressive stuff. Without an army that's not even entirely mechanized. Like by the time of Operation Barbarossa, only 40% of the German army is actually fully mechanized. The rest is horse-drawn. Impressive battle strategy, especially when the enemy outnumbers you in tanks and armored vehicles and everything else. Really well done. Italy flexed its nuts by declaring war on Abyssinia, also known as Ethiopia, and they had to call for help. Because even though they had strategic bombers and mustard gas, they couldn't manage it. And the Germans were like, fuck, all right, we're going to help you out. Hey, why don't you take care of Greece while we iron this shit out? And they were like, oh, we got the Greeks. Then they had to call for backup. They were like, book of the Beppe, they have guns. This is a cheating.
Oh my god. Oh my god, we just went there. Holy shit.
I think the majority of our streams is can we break crash the stream?
Listen, I shit post and talk, but if you want
Bad.
me gone, I will disappear, no problem.
No. Because, okay, so I need you to
No, they're
understand.
talking about how they broke the game.
Yeah, I'm on the last stage in this game right now because I'm just showing it off, and it is notorious for its length and difficulty. So you should talk because I'm gonna be here a while.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing, is that, because I'm reading both chats, because I'm trying to help. So, look, Alexander the Great was great because his army actually had a really good plan, and this plan was called fucking winning, which is a really good plan to have, really decent. And you'll find a lot of generals who get a lot of credit for basically what their army does, because people forget the grunts, that's just what they do. So you have like people like General George S. Patton, who 1, tailored his own uniforms, 2, had his own uniform supplier, 3, had his own PR department, So he's like, yeah, word this up to make me sound fucking great. And then you have like grunts like my fucking granddad, whose only solace, and yes, I will say this because statute of limitations has passed. My granddad stole General George S. Patton's ashtray when he croaked. You know why? Because America. Apologize for nothing.
I need to... Man, that was fucking good.
What a story.
What a story, Mark.
Oh,
And
no.
the other thing about the
Twitch is
Italians
trying to
that's
give me
fucking hilarious is,
shit.
okay, you know the Nazis would have their rallies and they'd be like, oh, and everyone's like goose stepping and shit. And then they set the tone for how you do those huge parades. And the Russians learned this. Everyone learned this from the Germans. Is you have the huge parades, you have the impressive looking poster guys come out, and then you have all the cool tanks and weapons and guns, right?
Yeah.
The Italians trying to do that same fucking parade. There's a problem with it. They weren't industrialized. So they had like a bunch of taxis and police cars and like fucking flatbed trucks with anti-aircraft guns in them and a bunch of confused looking militia dudes in it. And then you have this guy sitting up there, the Dwight Schrute of fucking history, Benito Spaghetti Mussolini, sitting there acting like he's goddamn Caesar. And Mussolini thought he was fucking Caesar. He had a pillar put in Rome, and he put all this shit under it, talking about how Italian fascism was going to last forever, and how it was going to unite the world, and blah, 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 blah. And the problem was that there's this thing called reality, where he's a pasta-eating piece of shit, and couldn't do a goddamn thing.
Oh my god! He's a pasta-eating piece of shit! I didn't think I would hear that today.
Nick's like, what did I tune into?
This is how text teaches history.
Please continue.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No. I just love like the madness of things because people. There was one guy who tried to argue was like, well, the Ottoman Empire in World War I joined the Axis because it made good sense. And I was like, no, the Ottoman Empire joined World War I on the Axis side because England stole their fucking ships. It was hilarious. That is a Randolph B. Checkers maneuver if ever. That is an excellent move. Meme. I'll explain it. Okay, Britain sold most of the world's dreadnoughts prior to World War I. They were just like, oh, you want a Navy? I'll sell you a Navy. When do you want a Thursday? And they build them. So all of South
When do you want
America
it?
had
Thursday?
Yeah, all of South America had dreadnoughts. Everyone had fucking dreadnoughts. Half the Imperial Japanese dreadnought fleet and battleship fleet was built by England. So the thing is that, you know, they just had this huge industrial base. They could build anything. They could build fucking anything. I mean, seriously, half the IJN fleet was British. It was built by Vickers Armstrong Whitworth. So then you end up with absolute fucking madness where the Ottomans before World War I have this public bond issue. They raise all this public fucking money and then they give it away to the British and say, 2 dreadnoughts, please. And the British build them. And then on the eve of the war, the British are like, nah, we're going to keep them. And they're like, but we paid for them. They're like, nah, keep these.
Wow. That's quite possibly one of the most British things I've heard.
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
So then, there's probably a handful of things I'd like to pick your brain about. Just hearing somebody else even mention that the Ottoman Empire was an entity has me going like, oh, by the way, but I don't want to do that right now.
No, please. I can talk Ottoman Empire and fractioning, Sykes-Picot Treaty. I'm fairly well versed.
So, this whole Greece and Macedonia naming dispute that has now resulted in Macedonia being called the Republic of Northern Macedonia.
Well, yeah, it's called compromise, where no one's happy.
That is correct. But I guess my other question is this. Since the entire problem is over who gets to claim the rights to heritage and stuff like that, because that is what it is all about. Greece is saying that modern-day Macedonians are Slavic bastards and don't get rights to name themselves Macedonians because the ancient Greeks were named Macedonians, whatever. Wasn't that entire portion of the world like bought, sold, and traded off for like slaves and shit like that during the course of the Ottoman Empire, which lasted, I don't know, like 1,000-ish years?
Yeah, it really was. Okay, the Balkans were like the dumping ground of Europe. It was
Yeah.
like there's Europe, and then there's Little Europe.
I mean, you're not wrong, though, because everything I've read, like, everybody's like, well, we're the real Macedonians, and then the modern-day Macedonians who do speak a Slavic, not Greek language, like, call themselves Macedonians, but I'm just like, aren't y'all, like, I don't know the deeper history to all the intricacies of each of your regions, but Like, do you
No,
even know it? Like,
No, step 1, nobody knows shit. Step 2, everyone thinks everyone else is wrong. And that is how it works.
can't really refute any of that.
So, history, as Napoleon defined it, is a series of lies agreed upon. And that's not entirely wrong. So, for example, if you look at like Maudsley's Thunder in the East, it really opens your eyes on the Russian theater of World War II. It's a really good primer, excellent book. But you find this throughout history. So the collapse of the Ottoman Empire is this long-lasting thing where they have too much territory and no idea on how to fucking hold it together. And then after the ass pounding they got in World War I by the most incompetent Allied advances in history, they managed to lose it. And so, I mean, by incompetent, I'll give you an example. When they roll into Gallipoli, the whole British Mediterranean fleet is there, and it's fucking massive. It's dreadnoughts from horizon to horizon.
Holy
and they're
shit.
like,
That sounds
okay.
frightening.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, let's just go in the Bosphorus and like shell Istanbul. So they start rolling into the Bosphorus, and they're like, one British captain goes, you know, they could put mines here. It's really narrow. And they're like, no, full ahead. And they hit mines. And so the first dreadnought sinks. And they're like, well, surely that's all the mines. And then a second dreadnought sinks. And they're like, okay,
Oh my
they
God.
really get a third one gets crippled. And they're like, you know what? Okay, let's just land here. And it turns into a fucking shooting gallery.
Wow. Holy shit.
I vaguely remember that.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh,
I-
I love weird history.
I also, hey, Kevin, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you bring up the stream on your phone?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Like the actual visuals and the audio? And I want to do like I want to do a sync test if you can while we're live, because I've been wanting to
There's
fix
your
this.
book, by the way.
Did you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I put it where the guy asked it. There's the link to Thunder in the East.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have a degree in history, and I have another degree in historical archival work. So I'm a librarian, and I am a history man's, and I love to shitpost history. But I'm never probably ever
wanna
going to make
see
a
it?
Text Talks history because there's 800,000 channels about it, and they're like, hey, let's use these little puppets to tell something that
Yeah.
we read on Wikipedia. And you're like, all of that is bullshit.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna do a quick clap. Hold on, ready? Ready? Let me know if that syncs. It syncs? Is it synced?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead. I had a
No,
problem
it's-
where
it's fine.
I was watching a
I noticed the last stream was
Yeah.
synced by like 20 seconds or so.
yeah, I might
That'll
have.
happen.
Yeah, I don't. I was just making sure it wasn't like that. But no. What's interesting too about some of the history you go into is a lot of it related to the weapons and implementation of said weapons in wartime scenarios.
Well, that's kind of critical.
Yes, because that's how wars are won. Well, one
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
one of the
people are
many
like,
ways.
Wars are won with brave men. I'm like, have you heard of this thing called the fucking atom bomb?
No, they're one with the F-35.
Oh my god, don't even get me started.
I'm trying to get you started.
No.
Oh wait, I want to hear this because I've gotten to hear Kevin talk a little bit about it, but now I get to hear Tex too.
No, it's gonna take way too long.
We saw the F-35 at the air show.
Yeah.
It was
oh,
cool.
was it
It was-
flying? No, they're all static displays. Anyways, look,
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, it didn't fly off and burn up in the atmosphere, as far as we could tell.
no, because that would require it be able to fly.
Holy shit! Here we go.
It was an F-22 with a fender upgrade.
No, the F-35 is a wonderful design, and it's called "How Expensive Can We Make a Plane?" And it's the F-35 is the equivalent of that kid with a Hyundai that has racing stickers on it, just trying to tell everyone that his car is fast. It's not. It's a piece of shit. It's such a big piece of shit. We can't even hide how big a piece of shit it is. When you look at all the fucking things wrong with that plane, it's basic shit like the oxygen doesn't work. Kind of a critical problem at 40,000 feet. Oh, it's the stealthiest airplane ever made. Then why were they able to track it for 100 miles with some fucking RC controllers at a goddamn Radio Shack?
Oh, that's fantastic.
It carries less weapons, it's less fast, and it's more expensive. That's like going to a fucking restaurant and you're like, hey, I'll have a big fucking steak. And they show you a picture of steak. And it's not even a good picture, it's an old Polaroid. You go, this isn't what I want.
It's like blue.
That'll be $800 billion.
Sun faded. Yeah, I feel the same way. The F-35 is a big waste of time.
Of course it is, but welcome to the military-industrial complex.
What is your favorite aircraft, Kevin?
I got a few. Off the top of my head, I'm going to say the Tomcat.
B-52. Why? Because freedom should sound like a dump truck full of bombs. If you want to know you fucked up and you see the outline that looks like a peace symbol without the ring around it, welcome to America, friends.
That's great.
Freedom should sound like a dump truck full of bombs. What a fucking line. Holy shit.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I've had a hell of a day at work, and this is helping me. This is therapy. So let me tell you this.
all happy.
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, so the B-52 is basically they go, hey, we need this giant ox cart to move like 3 or 4 H-bombs, and then they're like, oh, we can't have the H-bomb ones anymore. Well, what do we do with this flying dump truck? I know, let's fill it with enough explosives to delete grid squares. How many? Yes. Start bombing here and fly until it's empty. And that's what they do. That's what the B-52 does. In Vietnam, they were just like, see this little sketch on the map? Yeah, that mustard stain? Make it go away. Got it.
Hot damn.
The B-52 is the only thing that makes the A-10 look inadequate, okay? I mean, you have to understand that this is a wonderful Cold War thinking. This is Strategic Air Command, where it's a fight to the death, and we had to bring the most retarded, ridiculous Donkey Kong on fucking mess shit we had, and they succeeded. We went to goddamn Boeing. We said, build us a dump truck that can carry 2,000-pound bombs by the fuckload. That's how much the B-52 holds. Fuckloads.
This is great. What's another good plane?
Tex, have you been to the Air Force Museum?
Absolutely. And I also love Foote's History of the Civil War. Shelby Foote, amazing historian, and he had a wonderful way of writing. He was cited quite frequently in Ken Burns' Civil War. Fucking amazing writer. He was a poet. I mean, really amazing guy. He wasn't even a historian by trade. He just liked writing and research. And it's one of those examples of you don't need a fucking PhD to write good shit. You just got to pay attention.
Yes. That is good advice for people who are trying to figure out how to write a good story.
By the way, while we're having all this wonderful conversation, Mike, this has all been the same level.
I know. I've been watching, and I'm like, this looks like the blast furnace from Metal Gear Solid.
I noticed they got rid of the timer.
Yeah, they got rid of the timer. They're like, yeah, good luck. You're going to be on this stage
No,
for a
it's
while.
because they keep switching between the night stage mechanics with like the werehog Sonic and the day stages. So when I get to the next speed section, the timer will be back. And then you'll be able to see like the 20-minute mark up on there.
Yeah, this game's got some janky loading, but it's been pretty fine. I mean, this is way better than that last one you played by like a lot.
What was the last one we played?
6.
Sonic 06.
Oh, shit.
The one where Sonic's dating a human girl, and it's like super creepy.
Human Tales.
Yes.
Oh, God.
P-51.
Hey, have you guys ever seen Red Tails Gets Trolled?
See what?
Tails Gets Trolled.
No.
Oh my lord.
Okay, if it's anything like related to making fun of the Sonic community, Crash has probably blocked it mentally.
What do you mean? Just because I like these games doesn't mean I'm not self-aware.
Okay.
No. Tails Gets Trolled is, quote, a post-ironic masterpiece, an Iliad for the digital age. It's a clusterfuck of revenge fantasy, shown in anime, self-aware deviant art humor, and you owe it to yourself.
I may have watched it. Is it a Source movie maker thing?
No, it's a webcomic. It's just based on, it's just all on like really shitty, like deviant art style MS Paint art. but it's also very expressive, and it's just this. The story is just clusterfuck on top of clusterfuck, but it works.
Nice.
And all the language is really simplistic, but it's hilarious.
I just noticed you have like a Super Smash Brothers shield going on there.
Yeah. You need to defend yourself in these sections when this side of the character has not been leveled up.
Oh, and someone mentioned the B-58 Hustler. Yeah, let's make a nuclear level bomber that can fly at Mach 2, just so the enemy's really confused before you all die together.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, during the Cold War, anything fucking flew. You have to understand, during the Cold War, we had eight just fucking legions of guys sitting in fucking bunkers. Sitting in fucking bunkers all day, staring at cathodes. And then inevitably, a little buzzer would go off. Some numbers would show up. They would go open the safe and compare those numbers to a 3-ring binder. And if those numbers matched, the world ended.
Holy shit, really?
That's the Cold War. And that's how I explain it to people. You have some 19-year-old kid who's sitting there going, can't wait to get back home so I can have a cherry phosphate and take my oh, no, gotta blow up Mars. And then you just start pressing buttons.
You insert like discs and you turn some knobs and like alarms go off and they're still talking about like going to Mars and shit.
That was the thing that was fucking crazy is they did a survey. They started doing surveys because they were like, we're kind of worried about these guys that are all cooped up in bunkers. They're kind of crazy. And so they did a survey. They wanted to see what these guys who volunteered to be missileers, what are they all about? And when they went in there, they found out to their horror, not only were these guys usually asleep, but the other thing that was fucking great is when they ran a drill, they found out, hey, why don't you go get that other guy so we can turn the key at the same time? And he goes, oh no, it's not necessary. I figured out how to turn them both at once by myself.
Because, yeah, you leave yourself alone with that equipment long enough, you're going to figure it out. Oh my god. That's
why the arming desks form an L now and not a straight line, because the guy joined the two keys with paper clips.
Holy shit.
I know.
See, timer's back.
I know somebody who works on one of those, and yeah, it's he is an interesting fellow. Let's just put it that way. Very interesting fellow.
Oh man, the Cold War is fucking great because it convinced us to do really stupid stuff, and the answer was, why should we do this? Well, if we don't, the Russians win. So we just started doing stuff. Because if you said in peacetime, like, hey, I got some guys that can look at goats and make them die, they'd be like, yeah, we're not going to fund that. It's like, well, the Russians are doing it. Oh, well, we better get on that goat project.
Has that changed much?
What do you mean, the goat project?
No, that if the Russians have done it during peacetime, we got to make sure we can do it.
They have no money. All their fucking weapons are built by convicts. We're not scared of them. That's just imminent threat. That's how America does stuff. We kick the fucking door in, and we have a fucking gun in our hand. And as we kick the door in, we're like, he's got a gun, and we just start shooting, and then we're like, oh, it's a phone. we do this, but with countries, so don't worry about it. I mean, we're like, China's a big threat. It's like, yeah, all 4 of their ships. What are they gonna do? 1,000,000-mile swim?
Holy shit, Tex! Oh my god!
Now, I stole most of those jokes from Dr. Thomas Barnett, who is the only guy they ever invited to TED Talks who explained how World War III will be fought and what the next 10 years of American foreign policy will be. And he explained this during the height of the Iraq War, and nobody believed him. And it all turned out to be true. And it's not because he can see the future, it's because he's fucking smart. And they will not invite him back to TED Talks. He's like, no, I'll tell you what the next 10 years is like. And they're like, nope.
Holy shit. Okay, now what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, there's my nightmare fuel. You can enjoy.
It's great.
We enjoy your nightmares.
Yes.
What, shouldn't they be all of our nightmares? Do you hear this shit?
I mean,
Don't worry about it. I sleep 3 hours a night. I'm prepared. Anyways, so
oh my God.
What you got to do is make your peace with Jesus. But anyways, Oh yeah, Brother Malachi was asking about the Russian dead hand system. Okay, so the Russian dead hand system is really interesting because we found this thing called the woodpecker. And everyone's like, it's a number station. It's secret and creepy. And there's like all these fucking YouTube videos about what does it mean? It's a repeating signal. The reason is because if you, it says this pressure sensor is working. And the pressure sensor is to detect a nuclear blast, which has a very specific blast wave. When that pressure sensor goes offline, a little satellite reads it. And the satellite goes, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, and arms all the missiles. And then you have automatic retaliation. It's called a dead hand system. The Russian dead hand system is set to automatically retaliate if certain signals are not accepted. So it's like a doomsday device. So, you know, you got to hope that 1970s Russian equipment is still working right, huh? I mean, it's just 1970s computers. What's the worst they could have? Anyways, next question.
Oh my god. It's good to know that every country has, in some way, shape, or form, the best interest of how they want to end the world.
Oh, God, yeah. We put a lot of thought into it.
I can tell. I wasn't privy before. I'm scared shitless now.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's worse than you can ever imagine. Anyways,
Tex! God damn it!
You know what's crazy in the 50s is Werner von Braun. They were talking with old Werner von Braun, and they were like, yeah, you need something to do, so why don't you write some proposals? And he wrote up Project Horizon, which was his plan to make a moon base, and that's what we needed was a Nazi moon base. And so this guy writes it all up. He plans it all out, all the launch platforms and everything, to build an H-bomb base on the moon. And it would have worked, except it would have cost all the money known to man. But that doesn't stop people like Germans, because you know how they are. Once the rockets go up, who cares where they come down? That's not my department, says Werner von Braun.
Oh my god.
That's great. What's another good aircraft, Kevin, that you like?
I'm like drawing a blank right now. Definitely the Blackbird. Speaking of Cold War tech, the Blackbird.
Oh, Blackbird's great. Or the A-12, which used cesium in the fuel to create that stealth plume. Not only are we blocking radar, we're giving them cancer. Go America.
Awesome.
Whoa, awesome.
Kevin and I came up with an idea for a soft drink earlier. It's called Diet Stress.
God, that sounds like what I drink all day.
No, it's like you're like, you know, whenever I have to go into a stressful environment, I'm like, I can't really deal with all of this, so I have Diet Stress. It's just a can filled with half the stress that I'm going to be dealing with later, and then he drinks it and he goes, whew, yep, that's just whiskey. That's just straight whiskey.
I love whiskey. Whiskey's fantastic.
That's why I call it diet stress, because half the stress you have to deal with later. You're gonna be inebriated, but you're still gonna feel a little bit of the stress. I mean, it's a little. You gotta drink enough of it. There's
See, if stress gives you indigestion, you can make a creme de menthe cocktail, but instead of creme de menthe, you use Maalox.
Holy shit.
Been there, done that. So, anyways, unhealthy habits aside.
He's just warming up for his for the charity stream this weekend.
I'm gonna be on fire, and by that I mean probably hammered.
Boat Bomber's just gonna be like, I don't know how to talk anymore.
They're just sitting there. The text is like, the world is ending. Give us money for a good cause.
No, I'll just be like, boy, they jumped on that man like the last chopper out of Nam. Over to you, Boat Bomber.
He'll be like, thanks, Tex. Yeah, we have a bunch of. You can donate. He just leaves. He's like, I'm tired. Tex becomes the last MC. It's gonna be great.
These dudes with the machine guns are just the worst. We also didn't level up the werehog at all, so
that's
I have
usually
like
what
no
people
skills.
say in war. These dudes with the machine guns are the worst.
Quick, somebody talk about something random and wait for Tex to segue it into a war joke.
It's so good. No, we were actually one of Crash's favorite Sonic characters is called Shadow.
Oh no! Don't out me. Not
And-
that I haven't outed myself on this stream.
And he's like an edgelord version of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's just like wearing all black, but he has like a machine gun and like a rocket launcher, and he rides a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But he's got so he has an SMG that you cock like a shotgun. So think about that
That's
for
shaped like an AR, though?
yeah, it's shaped like an
It's
AR.
like a miniature AR.
So you know the heat shield on an AR, like he cocks that like it's a shotgun, and then he's like, "All right, time to kill," and you're like, "That doesn't seem like that works like that." But I guess when you live in the world of make believe and people don't know what firearms are, they're just like, "No, it's good." And he has his finger on the trigger all the time because Shadow the Hedgehog fucks. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Silver.
He's like
came about.
trigger.
Damn it!
Trigger discipline means absolutely nothing to him. He's all about murder and death. Riding around in his motorcycle.
I swear there should just be some way to end this room. It feels like it's going on forever.
It is because your character is playing. It's Sonic the Hedgehog, but now he's like a
Oh
beat 'em
my
up.
god!
Was that it?
Yes, it does go on forever. Shit!
You did it.
I'm a dumbass.
That's okay. You
Don't
made
worry
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Get me out of
Life
here.
goes on forever. Well, not really.
What's your? Hey, you don't.
Don't give me another
What do
existential
you,
crisis.
what do you think
tonight.
about the heat death of the universe, Tex?
I try not to. I plan for my tombstone to say he deserved it. I want to be that guy where people are like, oh, how did he die? That's not going to happen with me. They're going to be like, how did he die? Well,
Let me tell you.
Sips whiskey.
Actually, do you play any platforms, Tex?
no, I'm awful at them. The last one I played was
There's a switch.
Rogue Legacy, and I get to a point where like, yeah, I'm doing good, and it's like, you made $8, and I'm like, yeah. Then I uninstall it.
But there's. How the fuck?
Yeah, well, I don't know what's. Oh, you got to beat these people up while you're inside of a turbine. This is very Half-Life 2 for some reason. Which we said this last time because we were like talking about Half-Life 2. Which Half-Life 2 iteration do you like, Tex?
What do you mean?
Which episode?
Yeah,
Oh, I like the base game.
the base game's really good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I like episode 1 a lot. I think that one was a really nice change. But I know the base game so well. I could speedrun like half the game in like no time.
See,
I played the first
I
one
like
too
episode
much.
4. It's set in Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma. It's fairly empty, but the corn level's very interesting. There's no corn in Pottawatomie County. They grow sorghum. Random facts.
You said that thing, and then there was that guy in the back of your head who's like, "That's incorrect, and you must make that correction now."
Yeah, that little voice is called autism, and he has a PhD and a pain in my ass.
Does he just stand there with like flip flops on or something, and just like goes, "No, that was wrong. You got to
No, he's
reset
got a
it."
fucking lab coat, and he just judges me. And so it's like, hey, there's a cute girl. You can say something nice, and it's like, or you could talk about the Russo-Japanese War.
Dude, the Russo-Japanese War was fucking lit. like the Russians sent their fucking.
Can we just talk about how he just dude, that war was lit AF, all right?
Yeah, I'm starting to come to terms with realizing that I'm a Zoomer technically.
It's
but
okay. It's okay.
We
We
live
all
in
have our
society.
feelings. We live in a society.
So no, because the way it worked was the Russians tried to send their fleet to fight the Japanese.
There's a bit more to it than that.
No,
but
well,
okay.
yeah, well, that's what I'm getting to, fucko. It's that they fail at it hilariously because they send it out the Black Sea, and they run into the British, and the British tell them to fuck off. Fuck, I'm not getting the details right. Tex,
It's
you know
okay.
you can. Let me try this. Let me try this.
Okay, look, there's two things here to take away. One, the Russian fleet illustrates the failing of a fleet development of a logistics
Oh,
capacity.
yeah. No. The battleship.
Remember, there's a fucked up game happening behind all this history.
No. But one of the Russian battleships sinks in the harbor before they leave. So they finally leave the North Sea in autumn.
Well, you have a fleet that has no logistics capacity and has never steamed away from home, and they had no endurance for it. They had no fleet oilers, they had no colliers, they had none of the ability to actually run long naval operations, which is something that Theodore Roosevelt and Secretary of the Navy found out during the Great White Fleet that we sent around the world. We were like, we're going to show Americans on the stage, and then the Navy's like, half our battleships are broken. So the other thing is that there's the land war. The land war there is hilarious because everyone is observing. All the Europeans have sent observers in the Far East. And so you have the Russians who are defending with Maxim guns. And you have the Japanese who are using this thing called bonsai charges. And the Japanese will charge in and the Russians will shoot at them. And it turns out that the Russians can just mow them down like dandelions.
Oh my God.
And so everyone goes... Oh, everyone has different observations about this whole thing. So, like, the German observation is, these machine guns are lit AF. We should probably get some of them at the machine gun store. And then the British go, well, the Japanese could have won. They could have won this if they had more men. And this sets the doctrine for World War I. So when you see the British are like, yes, send in another wave, but this one with kilts. And it ends up being a shooting gallery because the Germans mass-produce machine guns. The British don't. For the first 6 months of the war, it goes crazy on one side.
Yeah, but what was it like? They're on their way past Britain, and they believe that they're under attack from a torpedo boat. The entire fleet steams straight in to save their comrade, but then they misidentify some of their own cruisers as Japanese ships. And repeatedly friendly fire each other.
Well, and that's what happens when a fleet has never ever had any sort of long distance fleet doctrine. Is they just don't know how to operate. It's a fleet that is a bunch of weekend warriors going out into the wide open scary place for the first time.
Did you just refer to a fleet full of weekend warriors?
Correct.
Yes. Well, I mean, they had to sign up for decades, Tex. I don't know if I'd call them weekend warriors.
Yeah, but let's say that...
in terms of professionalism, sure.
Let's just say on paper, you signed up to be a doctor and never went to medical school. Even if you've been on paper a doctor for 40 years, if you've never cut someone open and then you do and you're like, oh, that's different, you're going to be in trouble.
That's why it's always weird to me whenever a doctor on Star Trek's like, I don't know Klingon physiology. I'm like, aren't you?
Didn't they cover this?
Yeah, like, don't they cover this in school? Like, well, I know human physiology. Okay, well, you have a computer with, like, the knowledge of all of everything we've ever collected from Memory Alpha, and they're like, I don't know anything about Romulan physiology.
I'd be like, look, the something's connected. Something.
You just drop a screwdriver in there, you're like, whoops, and then you seal it back up, and you're like, they're like, why do I feel this metallic chest pain? And you're like, don't worry about it, it's going to go away in a couple days. Want some Jamja juice?
Yeah, exactly. It's just drop a ball bearing. If it clangs all the way down, you know you found an opening. So.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
There's just another fucking big round room like this.
Oh my god. What is this hell that you're going through? Because this is a Sonic Adventures / insane rant from a sleep-deprived man.
No, it's hilarious because this game is like Sonic the Hedgehog saving the world and everyone in it, and you're like, let's talk about the Russo-Japanese war.
Here's the problem with Russia.
That's the thing is, I know it's a popular thing to go, oh, I'm socially awkward because I'm autism. No, you're not. They changed the definition of the spectrum 8,000 times. Back when I was a kid, when they said you had autism, it was hard to prove. And they were like, you're one of them retarded kids that can count matches good. And I'm like, yeah, I can. Fuck you. And they were like, go to detention. But then I got out of it because I was like, but the tism. So the thing is you have to understand that this is my outlet. And I have the voice to carry my words to your brain holes, also known as ears in some circles. I'm not a doctor. I only play one on Space
We
Station.
noticed.
I have saved over 3 people over 10 years of playing. So I'll have you know.
Wow, that's actually less than the
Round
amount that
breaking
I've
space
saved, and I've
control.
played a lot less.
when I save people in Space Station 13 as the doctor, I'm like, what hurts, little boy? And they're like, my face is on fire. And I'm like, well, don't touch it there.
Hey, Crash, what do you think Sonic's favorite World War II plane would be?
Well, no, hold on. It's the plane
It's
that
the one
Tails
that
used.
goes fast.
Remember?
What about Shadow?
Yeah, what would Shadows
The one
be?
with the most guns on it.
What's my
Oh,
most?
the fucking that black stealth bomber.
Someone says, what is my most hated tank? Ugh, I don't know. There's a lot that fill that place. The problem is that everyone's a fucking armor expert now because they're like, I played the World of Tank and I know from the wiki. And I'm like, get out.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
very
fresh
true.
hell. You gotta kill all the fucking wizards because they heal them.
That's why I don't say shit about firearms. I'm genuinely interested, but my experience with them is the AR-15, and then also, what's that?
Let me tell you about the bullshit fucking firearms. Is I bought a replacement barrel for a firearm, and the manufacturer puts in the box like, make sure it's headspace by a competent gunsmith, and I'm like, I used to work as a gunsmith. Yeah, I used to work as a gunsmith, and I hate that statement. They put that in there for liability. The reason they put that in there for liability is if a barrel is not headspaced correctly from a mass manufacturer, that means they are goddamn idiots.
They hurt each
That is
other.
a bomb
Perfect.
waiting to happen. And not everyone is going to be like, well, I'm going to put this barrel in my gun. Thank God I got $12,000 worth of reaming equipment.
They're literally killing each other.
Oh, wow. You're turning the enemy against themselves, like I've turned this chat against reason.
It's okay. They were already against reason when they joined. They're
And
like,
someone
oh,
started writing Gilbert and Sullivan. That is HMS Pinafore, a British tar. Good song. How dare you?
I'm not
No,
playing
no,
that.
not what you're playing. Someone started singing the lyrics to a British tar, and it's a great song. No, I
Shot a
don't know.
BB gun
We're-
once, so I'm pretty sure Tex is wrong.
No, man,
So's Fry Guy.
BB guns are no fucking joke. We as kids used to get in BB gun fights because we couldn't afford paintball.
Holy shit.
Well, we just made an agreement. No eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you wear goggles?
No. Goggles are expensive.
kidding?
BBs
Yeah.
are cheap.
And that, Mike, is the entire final level to this game.
holy shit.
37 minutes.
37 minutes.
And I only got an A.
You got it. Well, A's are fucking great. There's
Maybe-
there's
maybe-
not a
maybe A
fucking
is the
college
max.
that's going to be like, you got an A, but you could have got an S. Like, if somebody did that, I'd be like, fuck this college. I don't want your garbage
except
degree.
Capcom.
So one of your chat raises a good question. Why even have doctors in Star Trek? Because Mike will know that we will get into huge arguments about Star Trek. Not even arguments. We're arguing against the writers.
Yes,
okay?
the writers for Star Trek are sad.
No, because you wouldn't even need it. Because if you can walk up to a replicator and be like, hi, I want this bizarre alien dish cooked in this very specific way. And it's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, done. And it's perfect.
Yes.
You should be able to walk up to a machine and go, ow, my bone hurting. And then get it fixed. Put arm in hole. Oh, wow, I got a manicure at the same time. How nice.
What's up, Michael?
Is there going to be like a cutscene?
So there could be. But that was... So if you want, I could potentially show you, like, what it looks like. But that is the last level to this game. So you've got this entire game where you've got all these little hub worlds with all these little medals that you're supposed to pick up
Hey,
and all the
Goat.
stuff that you're supposed to
Hey,
do.
Goat. Stop, please. Goat. Please stop.
Yes. Okay.
Please stop.
Is it really loud?
Yeah.
I could turn him down a little bit.
No,
As you were
I
saying.
gotta do some recording anyway. I'll get on later.
Alrighty.
Anyway, so you've got this game. All these different levels are based on different areas of the world, right? Like basically like Antarctica, somewhere tropic. I don't know what Autobot is technically supposed to be based after. It's either like somewhere near New Zealand or like Hawaii. Then you've got like this reference to China, Italy, somewhere in Central Africa, Greece, the U.S., Saudi Arabia, And like and then you've got like day and night stages. Like you've got this whole game. There's all these cutscenes the whole time you're going through. You're supposed to collect medals and videotapes and records and stuff like that. And then that is the final level to the game. So it's a really meaty game. I remember as I was playing through this with Kevin, he was like, "Damn, this is ambitious." Like, and it could have been so much more than what it ended up being if there wasn't like so many dumb combat mechanics. And they don't even play out poorly. It just they don't mesh well together. Well, some of them do kind of play out poorly, as I just showed off there, but
It was pretty poor. Yeah.
But I don't know.
It was 37 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
I mean, what was the cutscene going to be? He saves the world, and then everyone's
Well, you actually
Time to save the world.
you fall into a crater, and then you fight against the Egg Dragoon, which was a boss that we played against in Sonic Generations. And it's actually like this really sweet fight where you're diving deeper and deeper into the Earth's core while punching Eggman down in there. So it's actually really cool. Like, I remember when we got done with the sequence, Kevin was like, "That was actually sick." I'm like, "Yeah, it actually was." And then the final boss is like
I don't remember this, so...
the Dark Gaia thing comes out of the planet, and it's like fucking 100 stories tall. The thing is massive, and you were fighting it inside the Earth's core. The little annoying dude from the beginning of the game, Chip, all the temples where you collect the Chaos Emeralds form together to make like an Earth mech. And so the Earth mech and the giant evil thing are fighting each other at the center of the Earth, and then you turn into Supersonic and you like gouge its eyes out.
Wow.
It sounds like you made that up.
No, it does sound like you made it. It sounds like you like. It's like
I'm just saying the
game
story
gets
is so ridiculous.
Yeah, the game just becomes horrifically violent at the end, and you're just like. And most people don't make it that far, so they don't get to see it. So Sonic Team's like, fuck it, he's gonna gouge eyes out with spoons, and people are gonna be crying, and there's gonna be
That sounds
waterboarding.
reasonable. I mean, like,
It reads like a fanfic, yeah.
Yeah.
listen. If someone says to me like, "Hey, this is what happens in this game," and it's not my kind of game, I don't play it. I'm gonna believe them. You know, so if someone's like, "At the end of F-Zero, you do a bunch of drive-bys as you fall into a horrible cycle of heroin and depression, and you shake off your former past as a has-been driver in a fading world of race enthusiasm," and I'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
And you failed to raise your kids because you're just caught up on the past and drinking.
And you realize Captain Falcon is a true picture of modern America.
That's what I mean. It's like, if you told me that, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, think about it. The game Fable taught me all I needed to know about owning property. Just, jack up the rent until they're all homeless and electrocute them.
Well, you're too poor to own property. Looks like I'm gonna have to get the chair.
Oh, you can't conduct yourself to the bank where you can conduct electricity.
Holy shit.
That's great.
Is Fable really that fucked up?
Have you never played Fable?
No.
It's a Peter Molyneux game. Of course it's fucked up. The guy doesn't understand right and wrong.
He doesn't?
He doesn't know how to be a person. He's like
No, because... all right,
he's like the sugar water guy.
Put sugar in water. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
From Men in Black.
Yeah.
Look back at the interviews he did where he was talking about the Kinect. When the Kinect first came out, they paid him a lot of money to talk about the importance of the Kinect and how, interaction with a game and all this stuff. And he talked about the sensation of touch for like 10 minutes.
Ooh.
It's probably super high.
And also, there's like a thing. It was like a little kid that was the game for the system, and he's talking about touch, and you're like, that's a little creepy. And then later, he had another interview where he was crying because people were like, he's like, people just misjudge me and they treat me poor. And
No, they judge him based on what he says, which
Yes.
is lies.
Yes.
And it's either one of the interviewers asked him point blank, like, are you a pathological liar? Which is not to insult him. It's to ask, like, do you not have a concept of the truth that is the same as the rest of us? And he flipped out. He's like, well, what is lying really? It's like, well, when you say things that are not true, this is construed by most of us as a lie. And he seemed to not get that.
Wow.
At least Kevin was paying attention to that
I
hot bullshit.
was too. Crash just played that whole level underneath the stage and then won. Like it's like the Super Mario Brothers skip. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. It's like showing up to the racetrack with a tank. Is it against the rules? Yes. But do you still win? Yes.
All I wanted to do was get one of those moon coins too, so I didn't even accomplish what I wanted in that level.
Plus, once you
Is that
blow
a
up all the
Bitcoin?
other,
Hold on, I got to check on my investments.
Oh my god.
besides, once you blow up all the other racers, everyone in the stands, they're gonna be fucking ecstatic because now they get to watch a tank.
Oh yeah. No,
I mean, isn't that what
I'm still doing my 500 fucking laps.
Isn't that what people go to racetrack, like NASCAR races for anyway, to watch somebody, like, somebody's tire go fly off into the stands and decapitate some poor bystander?
That's what I want. I want a NASCAR race where it's like, no, you get one set of tires and you just see what happens. So like after 10 laps, they're down to the rim. Keep going. Welcome to the Sparks 500.
I really hope you didn't leave any oil behind you. It's gonna get messy out here. All right.
Or, I would love to add modifiers. I'd love to see a racetrack get challenge mode.
With real humans.
You know how they flip cars in movies with like giant pneumatic
the
pistons?
giant air tank that goes
I want like all of those in the center of gravity of every car so they can try to ollie over each other and then just end up smashing into each other.
So here's what I want is I want a NASCAR track that is like 500 miles long. I want it to be enormous, but I also want it to be a figure eight. So I want them to get up to speed before the fireworks happen.
Oh my
I
god.
want to watch somebody fall half a lap behind, and then as they come down, they just start blaring over the PA system danger zone. And they're like, get your corn dogs, because it's danger zone.
That's great.
Wow.
Wow. I think this is a good time to stop.
Yeah.
See, I'm just getting started, but I see what you're saying.
Not at all.
I think it's just because of what I've gone through with Sonic. But
He's beat the game, and also I'm tired.
but there's other acts. Like, so you beat the main act. Remember, the Autobot stage was the one that I played earlier when I was like flying through the jungle. And I'm like, this stage is hard. But then they have like these other acts that you can play, and they're like side missions.
Oh.
So there is more to the game than just like the regular stages.
Yeah, you've mentioned this. This is probably one of the better ones that you've played on here, next to Colors, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always just been a treat just watching you play through this.
It is nice to see somebody play a game that actually knows how to fucking play it, because
That's
it's one of
what
those things.
we're
Like, have you ever
saying,
watched somebody who's like really good at Diablo 2, where they just know all the builds and they can beat a map in like 10 seconds, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's honestly like why we.
It's so nuanced.
Well,
Like, I don't even understand all the shit
There's-
Crash is doing right now.
There's hardly any games that I'm that good at, and the ones that I am, I'm like they take like hours to play, like Daggerfall, and I'm not even that great at Daggerfall. I'm okay. I know builds to get me through the fucking. I'm gonna record a thing, but I know builds that are just gonna be like, yeah, this will get you through the whole game in like 2 seconds. It's pretty dumb. But yeah, it's nice to have somebody who can play games and be really good at them. And
Thanks. Well, I guess I'm glad we could have been an outlet for you.
yeah,
Oh, thank you, bud. I really appreciate getting a chance to like come home from a horrible day of work, and one of these days when I actually get a proper amount of leave, because even though I'm on vacation from making content, I'm actually still working. Like this week, I'll be putting in like 90 hours. But one of these days, I intend to come out there, and I will get all of you knuckleheads in one headlock, and then I will cook you a meat. One meat. You have to share. Just one meat.
Okay. We're like,
I
okay, me and Mike are
need
used to-
specification on meat so that the one of us getting put in a headlock doesn't lose. You know what? Never mind. Just
no, it's okay. It's a steak, and
Thank
Kevin,
you.
just give
Yeah,
Kevin.
you guys can have it. I can't eat it.
No, you didn't you make pulled pork? Yeah, you did. You made
Look,
fucking
I can make
amazing
any
pulled
meat.
pork.
If it's a meat, I can make it. I make
Yeah.
pulled pork. I make hams by
His
the ton.
his pulled pork was so good. I woke up 2 days later and I'm like, "Fuck, the weekend's over already." And you're like, "Yeah, you were doing all this crazy shit, and you had a lampshade on your head." And I'm like, "Oh wow."
Sat in the yard stuck in the bone off the pork meat. He was like, "Bring me more. I am the Goblin King."
Yep, that's about right for me.
The last time I had a lampshade on my head, I'm pretty sure I acted like I was Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
That's a great impersonation.
Yeah, that's basically what he's wearing.
Very accurate.
People are like, "Oh, isn't that like the Chinese?" He's like, "No, it's a lampshade, dude."
It's lightning. It's light.
Yeah, I'm pretty hot.
Because I'm like,
That reminds me of my favorite prank was years and years and years ago. One of my first jobs, it's my third job. I worked at a fucking McDonald's, worst job ever. I walked off the job after like 6 weeks. I was like, fuck this shit. This is horrible. So, other than figuring out what you can fry, and the answer is everything to include a Big Mac in the manager's phone, you can really, really, really have fun. So what I did was I put a note on the sign, and it said free large fries if you can light your tires up from the sign to the second window.
That's sick.
People were just all day. It was great.
I'm sorry. Quick question before we go.
Yeah.
What the fuck happens when you put an entire Big Mac inside of a fryer?
Explosion. Thank you for asking.
Well, yeah.
That was when he walked
was
out.
like, someone
Dropped
was
it
like,
in the
this
fryer,
burger's
walked
extra
out.
done. I think it's ready. And the manager's like, you're insane. I was like, well, let's see what else goes in there. And they're like, find another job, please.
No, and it's funny because it's McDonald's and they can't fire you. They're not allowed to. It's against
Oh,
the
we used
rules.
to get in hot apple pie fights. What we would do is we'd take hot apple pies and we put them in the fryer till the rock hard and the inside was lava, and then we just whip them into like Chinese stars. Man, I still have a part on my arm where no hair will grow because of burns from that. We're all laughing and we like take us to the hospital. And the manager's like crying. It was great.
Wow.
You literally burned follicles of hair from your skin
No, he burned
slinging
the
apple
skin.
pie.
No, he
Yeah.
fused the skin, so now I can't grow hair.
Yeah,
There.
don't worry about it.
Does
man.
it still
look-
apple pie? You did
Yeah.
that with an apple pie.
Oh man, I love
I think it
science.
transcended apple pie after that.
Yeah.
I think it's something more than an apple pie.
It's just death in hand.
It's about fun. And I've been on fire several times in my life, and usually I just start laughing because I just realize, man, this is going to be a great story.
He fried it so hard it became the core of a star, and he's like, let's just throw this around.
Yeah, it's fucking great, man. One time,
Eat my molten
one time-
fruit. Wow.
One time this lady's like, can you warm my burger up? And I'm like, yeah, let me put it back on the grill. And I put it in the microwave for 5 minutes so it started whistling. I was like, here you go.
So next Monday, it's either gonna be
SANIC.
it's either gonna be Sonic Lost World, or we're going to continue the adventures of
Solomon Dune, Vampire Hunter.
Solomon Dune, Vampire Hunter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, don't get me started on vampires. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad we
should-
weren't playing Bloodborne
you
for
should
Tex
tune
to
in.
hop in. Yeah.
And then Crash will really struggle to keep his
Oh, well, that's
dodging in time.
part of him playing Bloodborne is us just talking a lot of shit about him playing Bloodborne, and then he does a horrible job at it. And we're like, we know he's really good at it, but because we're making him laugh and we're doing all this shit, he's struggling so hard to get through the game, and he's amazing at it.
So please
Yeah.
come bother us next Monday.
I'll schedule it. I'll have my secretary schedule it. Shit posting. 1 second. Let me text her.
Can you imagine just going to your Google Calendar? It's like, oh, what am I doing Monday at 5
doesn't
p.m.
touch his
Texas
calendar.
time? I
Yeah.
am shit posting on Mike's
He has
channel.
a secretary. He doesn't touch a calendar.
Yeah, who the fuck
No,
is
I-
your
I-
Crash's
I have a
channel?
secretary. I have a secretary, and she says that she'll remind me of stuff that I forgot that I wrote because I'll be drunk and be making fucking entries. And she's like, why did you just write fuck in all caps? And I was like, how big was the font? She's like, size 48. And I was like, yeah, I must have been in a mood.
Yeah, don't forget to take your meds. Yeah, just as much whiskey as you've got in the house. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we're going to be streaming on Wednesday Metal Gear
Metal Gear.
MSX.
Metal Gear.
The first one on the MSX
Gear?
home computer system.
Brother! Not Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, see, I would
Wow.
love if I could play myself in Metal Gear because, like, when Revolver Ocelot's doing all that flipping shit, you just kneecap him. You're like, man, next place you try that fucking gunplay better have a ramp.
I thought the host was Texas Secretary. I'm not Texas Secretary. He doesn't pay me fucking anything.
What? Now I'm sad.
No, he paid me in sausages. I usually get paid in lots of hot dogs, and that's not enough to be a secretary. No, Texas Secretary gets paid in like M&Ms, right? Was it the peanut ones?
No, she draws a very good salary, and she puts up with me, and she's like, I was like spinning in my chair, and she goes, "Are you thinking or pouting?" And I'm like, both.
Is this your secretary or your partner who keeps your shit organized that you just refer to as your secretary because she keeps your shit organized?
No, she's my secretary, and
Okay.
she threatened to quote go upside my head and cut it back to the fat meat. One time. So she's pretty fucking ruthless.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, what a
does
day this
Metal
has
Gear
been.
count as a BattleTech prequel? No, it counts as a Zone of Enders prequel. That's what that is.
All right, I'll
That's
see you
true.
fuckers later.
Take care, man.
See you,
Take care,
Tex.
Tex.
Yeah.
Good talking, man.
That was fun.
Hell yeah.
Agreed. And
Uh,
the Browns are getting slaughtered by the 49ers. It's 3-21.
Who?
Sorry, I was doing sports ball
The
conversation.
Browns.
Oh, the Browns are losing? Anyway.
Big surprise. Thanks for tuning in
Wow.
for old timey shit. I can't even.
For that old timer who came on our stream and started being like, World War II.
Old timey history lessons.
Yes.
While I play over
Very
like the
enjoyable.
While we're
longest Sonic
playing
level in history.
This child's video game.
Yeah, video game for children.
Sitting here talking about the heat death of the universe while I'm navigating a fucking tube in Sonic Unleashed.
I
Like,
love this.
Thanks for tuning
A
in.
drum of hot dogs. Yes, the rolling drum of hot dogs in Metal Gear MSX.
Oh
You
my
haven't
god.
seen it,
No, I've not.
but there's like a
it's
trapped
deadly.
trapped
It's
room, and it's
Insta kill.
like a giant 16 drums connected together, rolling on the ground back and forth, and Snake has to sneak past that. What the fuck? And
And
it's
it reeks of hot dogs. in
yeah,
that
we
room.
decided that it's
You
hot.
walk in and there's like text reeks of hot dogs in here.
Yeah. And then a guy goes, fall asleep. And then we're like, no, not there. And it goes,
Yeah. It's the scene from Roger Rabbit
except there's
When he-
way more blood.
when he gets caught, by the steamroller.
God damn.
Or
Metal
the
Metal
cement
Gear
roller.
MSX
Oh my
is
God.
metal as fuck. But yeah, no, Metal Gear is not the prequel to BattleTech. That would be the prequel to Zone of Enders. Because that's another Kojima game or anime thing that he did. He's a big fan of it. So yeah.
Fry Guy's joke. That is painfully accurate.
Oh, don't worry. We're not burning any couches here. Anyway, yeah, time for sleeps.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna go off here, and they're gonna pretend like they're gonna go to bed, but really they're just gonna sit here and play Smash.
I didn't say I was going to bed.
Yeah, you did.
He said he was tired. We might just play Code Vein or
Yeah,
Smash.
they're just gonna play Smash and beat up a bunch of children. So, anyway,
See you later, Jeff Bezos.
No, we say that shit all the time.
anyway, guys, have a good night. See you later.